I would like to introduce. Wiser.
Hey everybody, WebC here, and welcome to Friday Night WebC Builds Live. And it's also Friday the 13th, which is kind of weird. It's strange, isn't it? It's Friday the 13th in the middle of December. It's kind of an odd Friday the 13th. However, it's Friday the 13th, so let's have fun. Let's have a great time. We are still working on the silver bullet, the regular silver bullet. I have been doing some sanding and some work. So we will get into talking about what we got going on here. Here is an image of what it looks like fresh out the box without any of the custom touches we put on them here at WebC Studios. So check that out. That is the kit we are working on. It's a pretty plain Jane kit the way it looks right here. It looks like it's like right off the factory primer gray. So we're gonna have a fun time painting this guy up, having that guy get put together. We got our fancy V8 Energy. They don't pay me, but I still drink it. All right. It's green tea, black tea, and orange and pineapple juice all mixed together. It's a really fancy drink. All right. So I just got done doing something on the back burner over here. He's ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be my family's first Christmas celebration of the year. Is gonna be tomorrow at my house, which is kind of cool, you know. Getting together tomorrow. So we're gonna have fun, have a good time, and pew 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 pew. You know. So uh, yeah, that is that. So I got this part is detailed up and touched up. I've done some work on it. I'll show you the other part that matches it so you can see the difference. All right. So on the right is the part that has been worked on, and on the left is the part that has not been worked on. One of the things you're probably noticing is my camera sucks at getting good graphics, but can you see the difference there? Look at that detail jump out on you. This is worked on. This has not been worked on. So to give you that idea of what just a little bit of time and a little bit of work can do, you can really make a big difference on the shapes of your kit and really bring it out. Now, I got a lot more work to do up here. I'm sanding this out to like make it slope in more, to make it look like a more defined part. Instead of adding to the parts, I find it's easier to always just take away a little bit, and it really adds more dimension. You can really do some cool things by doing that. Different tools get you to different spots. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the workbench, and we will get to work. If there's any kits you guys want to see when we're working that you guys know I've built in the past, or anything you want to talk about while we're here tonight, just mention it in the comments and it'll pop up on the right hand side of the screen. The images on the right hand side of the screen, the background images or whatever that you're seeing, those are AI generated with my help. And my chorog or my coaching with the AI to get those images. I told them what I was looking for, what pictures, what colors, and stuff like that. And the AI really showed out for me and did some really cool stuff for me. I know it's not real art. I know they're not real Gundams. It's just AI. It's AI generated. It's really cool though. So I want to thank the AI over there at Meta for giving me this generation. I always give them some credit and some love for that. They're doing okay things over there. I'm not always impressed with Meta, but hey, when they do something good, it's good. What's up, puppy? You go lay down? Lay down? Place? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's what we got going on today. I have done some work on these. You can't really tell much, but I'll point it out. Right there, that little little spot right there. I did that. And then over here on the sides, I made this deeper. I made it like slope in more, made it a little more deeper so it's more pronounced. You see that? Um, which one did I not do? Okay. So this side has not been done, and this side has been done. Do you see how it's like a little more pronounced on this side? Yeah, let's go over here. Do this one. So it's just a little more pronounced. I'm not doing a lot of, changing to this kit. I am doing what's called subtle enhancement. Subtle enhancement will always make the kit more appealing, and people don't know why. They don't know what it is. It's really always hard for them to point out what you did, because really you're not doing anything. You're just taking what's there, what the creators of the kit have already given you, and you're enhancing that. You're bringing out what you want the eyes to look at more. So if I don't like this event here, I'm gonna increase this look here so that you look less at this vent and you're gonna look more at this part. When I was in school and always in my art classes, your teacher always tells you to use your whole canvas, you know. So while that's part of the canvas, so is this. And so if you can use one side of the canvas to pull your eye away from the other side of the canvas, you can always have some great effects. And you can learn some great tricks of the trade. It's really good to do that. Always use your full canvas and you'll have a great time. Here we go, guys. Just gonna get right into it. All I'm doing is like just taking 1,000 grit and just sanding out some of the imperfections that the tool left behind and making sure it's smooth all the way through. And then we'll hit it with this really nice buffing sponge that I have. And we'll make sure we get the nubs, any of the nubs or the nips, some people call them those, that come off the spurs of the tree or the runner, whatever you call that part. We have a bunch of different lingo for it. Me, I like to call them runners. I prefer runners. Because the liquid plastic runs through those. That's why I call them runners. But um, and because they're supposed to be taken off, they're not supposed to be there when you're done. All right, so we got this tool right here. This is a sanding sponge. What this sanding sponge does is it'll take out those final imperfections from harder sandpapers. So this sponge is up to a 1,500 to a 2,500 grit. It's somewhere in between there. Sometimes they vary depending on how old and worn they are. The more worn out they are, the softer the grit. The more new they are, the coarser the grit. So when it's brand new, it's like a 1,500 grit. But by the end of its life, it's more like a 2,000 grit, 2,300 grit. You get what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down. All right. Yeah. And yeah. So, um, Alright, so as you can see, I'm just going up to where I need to go up to. I'm not actually like sanding all the parts, or I'm not buffing all the parts, but I'm trying to make it so that you can't see sanding lines or tool marks. So that's all we're doing. We're just getting rid of those things. Tool marks, sanding lines, having a real easy night. Um, there's a bunch of stuff that came out in the past 6 days, 7 days that I've just been real quiet about because I wanted to talk to you guys about all of it tonight. Like, it's so much to talk about. First things first, we finally got an announcement on when the drop is happening for the Pal World DLC that is supposed to be so much bigger than Sakurajima. So I'm super happy. Pal World is going to be super exciting, and there's going to be a reinvigoration of players and stuff when this new DLC comes out. So it's going to be so fun playing Pal World again. And maybe I'll open my server up that I have to other players. If people want to come and play on my server, I will take note. If you do, I will have a key open in the future. We'll see about it. You know, I might make it just like a private invite only type thing, or get in through password only type thing, just so we don't have those people that come in and make a ruckus at the server. We can also vote on certain things like how much spawning you want and how much XP you want and stuff like that in the beginning. You can always vote on those things because I'm one of those people that I don't mind playing the game slightly modified or enhanced, especially if it's to help other players catch up to, you know, or to have a fun time. I want to have a fun server on it, so if we do that, that would be something I'd like to do. Is like have a fun server for it, and then we would host like server nights over on Discord, and you'd all come into the Discord. You would load up into the Discord, and then you'd get the password to load into the game. And then I don't know if it's on crossplay or not yet. So if you're on PS5, that's what I'll be hosting on. But if you're not on PlayStation Network, I don't know what to tell you. Um, I know that I have a PC version or a computer version, my original playthrough, and my original playthrough was a pretty fun playthrough. I felt like it was a really great playthrough. But I had a lot of issues with my computer. There was a lot of lag issues with my computer. So I think that's something that I would check back in on my computer in the future. And I think that one of the leg issues got fixed, so I just got to go and check in and see if I have that update yet. And maybe my PC will actually play the game. However, I really like playing it on the PlayStation. It feels more natural playing it on the PlayStation over playing it on the PC. I've never been a PC gamer. And then speaking of other games and people on PC games and what servers and stuff you like to be on, a game that is just coming out is called Path of Exiles 2. Is in early release now. I am excited for it to play it, but I'm gonna have to wait a while to play it just because, you know, not everybody has the time or energies to play every single game in the world. I am playing Pal World. I am playing this new game called Temtem, and I am playing Borderlands with my wife. And when Borderlands 4 comes out, I'll probably play that as well with her. So, I already do have a pretty full plate of video game playing. You know what I mean? So it's always like that. But I'm pretty excited about these new games that are coming out. So look forward to that on December 23rd for the Pal World download. And then next December, look forward to probably Borderlands because I think that's how that's going to work. They're going to wait until the end of the year next year to release for a holiday release to get maximum efforts. Uh, with that though, I did watch the gameplay review of Borderlands 4 today, and that was so crispy. I don't know if you know what it's so crispy. Like I can't get beyond that. I'm just it makes me happy. I saw it. I was just so they gave Claptrap a fanny pack. I was giggling about that. The four new characters look amazing. I'll be looking forward to seeing what the DLC characters look like. There's so much going on with that game. So, you guys are fans of the Borderlands franchise, definitely head out and check those games out. Me, I'm a huge, huge fan of the Borderlands franchise. So is my wife. My kids, some of my kids play it. I don't know if all my kids play it yet. All right. Yes, this is what we're doing. This is the right tool. So this is my Display Push Broach. This thing is a monster of a tool. However, it is sharp and dangerous. So, always wear protection, which is like an apron or something when you're handling this, because if it slips and falls, this will fall onto the apron and not onto you. Um, so you just find where you wanna, you know, make your marks, and as you do, you see that little piece of plastic that felted up. That is the that is the that's what I'm taking off. Every time I make a pass, I'm only taking off that much. It seems like it's like a lot of work for just a little bit of work to get done, but If you go slow, take your time, make sure your part's nice and crispy when you're done. You'll really like the work you do. And when you do around like these circle surf, like so this is circle or half circle, or it looks like it's a circle. Don't be fooled. It's not a circle. They did a great job. Excuse me. I got the burps. Hold on. Okay. Um. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start here in this corner, and then you're gonna go from this corner. You're gonna go a little bit away, and you're just gonna make a line. You're gonna make a couple lines, and then you're gonna go further, and then you're gonna bring that line into the old line, and then you bring it further, and you bring that line into the line, and you just go really slow and try not to overwork anything, and it works out really fast. So let me do that real quick. I'll try and keep the part to where you guys can see what I'm doing. And then once you get the whole part, going with a nice groove, and all we're trying to do is we're trying to enhance the depth so that it creates a better three-dimensional image when you look at it later after it's painted. Because painting and adding scribe work and sanding and everything, it'll take away from the part. You'll eventually lose the decal or whatever the detail is on this part. It can get lost really easily. Like you can sand it and it'll just disappear. And then if you make a mistake, you can sand the mistake out. Okay? So I did just kind of make a little mistake here, but you can't see it, but I can. So it's right here on the outside of this. So we have this really fine pointed piece of sandpaper adhesive right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take it. We're going to just hit that real quick. And we're going to fix that piece. It won't take long. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so 6 rubs. So we fixed it. And now you can't tell that there was a mistake there. Then you just keep going on all the way around the circle until you've gotten all the way around. And then you kind of angle it a different angle. So you change your angle when you come back the second time. And this creates the 3D effect. So this time, I'm just going around straight up and down. This next time, I'm going to go in at an angle. And I'm actually going to cut down this. But instead of using this, I have these other shapes or I have these other thicknesses on these bits. And I'm going to find the bit that has the nice thickness that I like. That sounds awful. Let's say it's the right size. All right. So we find the blade with the right size. Now this blade, some people are like, hey, you can just use this. But all we're going to do is now that we carved it once this way, we're going to take it, and with this one it has two 90-degree sides on the blade, and we're going to take it, and instead of it, imagine that line on my hand is the flat surface. Instead of putting it flat down, we're going to make it open so that one side is dragging and the other side doesn't even touch. So it creates a chamfer bevel. So instead of it being a 90 degrees, it'll be more like a chamfer bevel with a 45 or a 125 or 128 or whatever. Something obtuse like that. It's really good. And so on the part, it's really hard to get it to focus. But on the part, you can see there's a gap. See that gap? That's what I'm doing. I'm making sure that gap is there, and then I'll slowly move the piece. So I'll give you a little demo of what that looks like. So it's doing two things for your part. It's taking down the high side of one of the things, so it makes the other side stand out more three-dimensionally. Okay, so I did it. So now we'll be able to look at the part and see. Do you see how more it adds a three-dimensional to that? Because we did it right here. Right here, it has more of a three-dimensional flat coming out of that. And then what we'll do after that is we'll sand it down with 1,000 in the buffer. And then the 1,000 grit, the buffer will finish it off and make it blend so it won't look like a flat area going into a curved area. It'll just be curved going all the way through. Yeah, right. So then we can do that and show you the results. Yeah. So Friday the 13th. I'm not a big celebrator of suspicious days or anything, but that's crazy that today's Friday the 13th. I did not think about that. Now I was told earlier in the year that we would have a Friday the 13th around this time of year. I was like, no. Anyways, all right. So now when we look at it, you don't see that it's not as pronounced anymore. It just looks like it's part of the part. And then we're going to do that all the way around that circle. And then we got a circle on this side to do it too as well. And then we're going to go and we got to hit around here, this whole edge, all the way around this piece. And then I did some special stuff on this part here to make it look different in dimension when you're looking at it. So when we look at this piece and this piece, you can clearly see that there's some cutting or some separation in this piece, but it doesn't look like it on this piece because it hasn't been done yet. So another thing I was telling you about, like what angle you go in and actually make that cut can make a difference on what your cuts look like. So for this one, instead of going at the angle like this and cutting down like this, you actually have to change your angle and cut in a semicircle this way along this side of the part instead of this side of the part. And what it does is it makes it look like this piece and this piece are separate pieces. Like right there, you can see the difference between the two pieces. It makes this piece look like it's clipped on to these two pieces. And I made that pretty obvious all the way around. And in the difference, this is the part that hasn't been customized yet. You can see it looks like one solid piece, and that doesn't look as appealing. So we're going to modify this one out just like this one. So when we paint and tape it off and everything, they'll both look like they're separated pieces, and they'll look like separate pieces after they're painted. And that's how you get that effect. And then when you get done and you top coat and put in your panel liner will sink in better for having that line there. It'll be more developed, more showy. It'll look really nice. So those are all the things I did with this part. There's lots of stuff to talk about when we talk about doing all this stuff, right? So that's what I did. So this is some of the work we started on tonight. And yeah. So I haven't been getting really far with model kits in the wintertime because come the beginning of December, I always go out and get canvases so I can start painting pictures for people so people can have my artwork hung up in their house that, I'm friends and families with. Hey, Leviathan Prime stopping in and talking. Carve that plastic. You're right, sir. I am carving that plastic. But I'm just about to show everybody what I've been doing outside of carving the plastic. So I'm going to move my camera real quick. Give me just a slight moment to get this moved and stuff because sometimes it can be a little difficult. Not so difficult. Power cords in the way. Here we go. All right, everybody. This is what I do when I'm not building Gunpla. That this way, this way. Okay. The light is really bright. I apologize. It doesn't like to stay up either. So. This is what I got working on right now. I am taking this picture for some family members. Hopefully they don't sneak and watch what I'm doing this week. They're my mother and father-in-law are big Star Trek fans, so I'm painting them a Star Trek chase scene on a blank canvas. And I just randomly threw up some worlds. I threw up a bird, a warbird, and then we got the Enterprise A. Just so you know what's going on. What's all going on there? This is what my artistic rendition of the Enterprise A. So, this is like the first couple layers. I haven't touched it with an airbrush yet. So after I figure out what I'm gonna do in the foreground, I'll start like sectioning it off. to start working on the airbrush stuff, and then it'll all be combined. I like to take hand brushing and airbrushing and combine the work together, and it comes out pretty neat looking, really really interesting looking. So we're gonna be doing that. I've been working right now. Today I've been working on this section right here, and I'll be tuning up this section as well. So throughout the next couple days, this is probably what I'll be working on when I'm not doing any Gundam carving or plastic carving. It's kind of what I got going on. So yeah, so definitely thanks for stopping in and commenting, Leviathan Prime. How is your week going, buddy? Are you doing good? I'm getting ready for the Vert Hot Challenge. I know you're fresh off the summertime win with your ball, right? You won with that, didn't you? Like, that was an amazing build you did. I think you won. I didn't. I want to say. Anyways, you're gonna get a run for your money with me. I'm gonna. I can't really say what I want to do yet because I have a concept and idea in mind. So I'm just gonna run with it, see if it's a concept I can win with. I like it though. It'll be a good concept. I'm not gonna divulge it because then somebody will one up me. So we're gonna just be very, very quiet. But concepts and ideas are limited with the kit selection. So it'll be fun. I'll be excited. It'll be my first competition since my win this summer. I won. Uh, what you got there? Yeah, wrapping up my partially completed builds at the moment. Yeah, I was doing that. I was getting some work done on some of my partials too. I'm just the silver bullet I'm working on is just wrapping up my daughter. She started it, so I just got to get it finished. I'm having one of those moments like, hey, you didn't finish that, and then I got a kid I got to finish myself as well before I can open up or do anything new either. So I'm trying to get these two done sometime this week. I got the high grade heavy arms that's going to get painted to look like War Machine from Marvel, and then I'm doing this silver bullet, and I don't know what colors I'm really going to do for the silver bullet yet. I'm still going to let the kid pick them out and see what she picks out, and then I'll have her help me paint it. She won't get to paint the whole thing, but she'll get to help. I'll have her do maybe I'll have her paint the inner frame. She can get her hands wet learning how to paint the inner frame and stuff. She can do that. It's always good practice, and it's always one of those things where she doesn't have to be anxious or afraid she's gonna mess up because you don't see all of the inner frame when you look at it anyway. So it's a great way for her to learn and practice. She's a great artist already, so she's airbrushing has been she gets really excited for it, and she just needs to take a couple seconds to slow down and just do it a little bit slower. And it's been a couple years since her last try, so I think she'll get it real quick, no problems. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do with that, and then um free builds outside of that. My next free build, I think I got this meteor unit. I think I should do the meteor unit. I think that's what it's called. It's a strike meteor. I have that big bulky thing that takes up a 2 foot table. Yeah, I got one of those. I was thinking about doing something crazy with that. I usually end up. I've never done something like that, so I was like, where am I even gonna put it? I bought it, and I was like, yeah. And then I was like, wait, where am I gonna build it and display it? I have nowhere for that. So that's what my connection with that is. Why I haven't built that yet. Then I also have my two growl kits on deck to be built as well. But I'm kind of putting those into the back, like the far back, until I get this small backlog I have, you know, finished out here. So my yeah, my next my next actual build might be the Strike Meteor. It's a big build. We'll hang it. I got some hangers on my ceiling that I can probably hang it from. So no problems there. Be real fun. Yeah, yeah. So this is all hand paint work so far, like I said, and There's different techniques that go into this. This is called a drag and cover technique. So what I did is before I put any of the reds and blues down in that like cloud pattern behind the planets, I actually did the planets, like I took and put like dots of paint everywhere and just scraped the paint across the canvas. And then I took these circle things I cut out and put them over there. And then I painted it all black again. And then I took and did the cloud stuff with the circles still in place. And then it ends up looking like this. It's kind of like that spray can art you see people doing all the time on reels and stuff, or when you're walking by, like in an artsy district and people are doing artwork for sale for $20 or whatever on the street. It's kind of like how they do that. Oh, my camera gear fell. Hold on. It's not broken. It just doesn't want to go in. Cancel. What do you do? Oh, let's see how that works. And yeah, so this canvas is I don't know, it's about, I think it's 2 feet by 2.5 feet. So 24 by 36, I believe, is what these canvases are. They're really nice. They give you plenty of space to work and do things. And yeah, a lot of technique that I use for uh, weathering and stuff in my Gunpla comes from what I learned and how I work on my canvases. So, uh, I put him up. He's not out anymore. But my heavily weathered and repaired kit that I have, that's a just a cannon with Jin high mobility parts added to it. I use these same techniques, the same painting style techniques and stuff to achieve what I achieve on canvas on Gunpla. So a lot of my artwork comes through that way too, and it's really fun to have that as your option or a spoil of your abilities is to go from one medium to the next faster and faster. And hey, painting on canvas, some people think it's goofy because when you're me and you're all zoomed in, you're like, oh, I can see every little cross of the canvas. Like the canvas has, it's like it's fabric, so you can see the crossing. We're gonna just take you off. Come on, camera. Let's just zoom in there and look. See, so you see that. So canvas wise, and then when we zoom out, it no longer shows you that. You know what I mean? Like you get this. It's this such a cool thing. It's always I've always been fascinated by this whole thing of like you can see the pixelation on the canvas type of deal, and then you can utilize that pixelation on the canvas, to like look. Come on, focus. It's only gonna focus like right there. All right, so it doesn't look like anything right there. But when you're coming out and then you get to here, you're like, oh, okay, okay, it's starting to look like something. But then when you come back here, you're like, oh wow, that looks like a planet. So I don't know. I like to use that, and I like that I can do that type of stuff. And painting dungeon furniture and figures for Hero Quest for my kids. You're a great dad there. If you're painting Dungeon Quest and Hero Quest stuff for your kids, that's so great. I love that. That's awesome. Uh, so yeah, this is one of the paintings I'm gonna be working on, and then I'm gonna do one for my brother-in-law. And then I was thinking of doing one for sure for one of his kids. I don't know. Usually I give each of his kids one as well, but we'll see. I don't know what my wife feels like getting them this year for Christmas. We're gonna just do canvases for everybody. If we are, I'll probably paint both those kids like some Prince symbols or something this year, just so they can be like, what? Just so they can be a little confused. But yeah, I think I'll do like some Prince symbols because Uh, we're from that area where Prince is from, so everybody up here loves him. You know, no matter what you think about the guy, we all love his music. So even his music that he purposely made that sucked, We loved it. We just loved it. He was so confused. He was like, "Why, people? Why y'all love this?" Like I made it on purpose to be bad. Like, oh, that Batman song he just got. Oh, it's cringy, so cringy. But then he like it's Prince though, so you're like, I can live with the cringe because it's Prince. And so if you ever revisit the Batman music video by Prince, just so you know, I think it's a little cringy, but I think it only passed because of who he is. I don't think that would have passed if it would have been somebody new, some new artist today. Like I don't know if that specific video would have passed in today's market. Like totally crazy. Anyways, so this is what we got going on for the rest of the month. Um, I usually like to take a break the last 2 weeks of the year and not do any kind of podcasting. So I will probably do one more podcast on the 20th. Today's the 13th, so yeah. I think you'll get one more on the 20th, but you will not get one on the 27th, and you will not get one right after the 1st. It'll be the week after that I will be back. I just like to take those podcasting breaks. I'll still go live on my other social medias and everything, uh, but it just won't be like a whole lot, and it won't be anything like doing a podcast or anything. It'll just be me coming in and saying hi, hanging out with whoever's live already or whatever. Or I'll go over to one of the other TikToks that I like to go have fun and talk trash on. I'll go trash talk some people. Hey, new viewer, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. We're just showing off this artwork that I'm working on. This is my real artwork. I put this together. Um, but it's based off concept from this TV show here, Star Trek, the original series. This is the Enterprise A. That is a Klingon warbird, and these are just some planets that the Klingon warbird is chasing the Enterprise A away from. That seems to be the theme of the Klingons. They like to chase the Enterprise away. So it's a great photo idea. So I'm still stuck on ideas for what to do for all this blank space. I have about 2 feet of blank space right here. I would like to fill that space, and I'm not sure what to fill. Now, I had an idea. Um, I was thinking of filling it with 1980s graphics. That sounds horrible, but hear me out. Hear me out. 1980s style graphics, and so we'll take pink and like purple. I think we'll get away with pink and purple. And what we'll do is we'll tape this off so this doesn't get painted at all, and then we'll just cover this area up so this area doesn't get any paint. And then we'll go from here to here, and we'll do like it'll look like somebody's voice has been recorded onto here. We'll go back and forth. We'll hit it to make it look like spikes and low, high and low spikes from a audio recording. And then what we'll do is we'll take and we'll put a pin line. We'll take a white pin and we'll put a pin line here. And then we'll slowly have lines dip off here like this. And then we can do like a cross section, another cross line, and make it smaller and smaller. And just so it looks like a 1980s graphic right here is kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. But like I said, I was always told as a younger artist to always utilize every part of your canvas. So that's why I was thinking that would be pretty cool. And I don't know. I mean, if we did blue, like I already have a big band of blue up here, so blue is really something I'm thinking that's like a great idea to do more blue. But it looks like the idea is the water's being stripped off of this planet. I don't know what's causing it. Nobody knows. But the idea is water's being stripped off of this planet and it's falling onto these what were asteroids, but they become planets as the water drifts off onto them off of this bigger planet. So this is like a really huge planet, and this is like a cosmic cloud of crystallized water particles and stuff that are rapidly rushing off of this planet. These planets are just sucking it up with their little balls of gravity, and it's a crazy theme. Everything's crazy, and then of course the Klingons are chasing the Federation away, and then in the foreground yeah, an 80s graphic scene would be pretty cool. I think that's something we could do for that. I like it. You like it? I like it. We like it. Yay, we like it. So that's what I got going on with that. Yeah, I'm just taking this V8 energy break real quick. We're gonna move back over to the gun, the plastic stuff. I don't like this. Use that again. There we go. Well, I got light. Don't worry. Also gotta get this cord up and out of the way. Alright, so we got all these lovely stickers and all these lovely things. Yeah, having fun. We should probably put this up before somebody gets stabbed because we don't want that. And that somebody is always me. Oh man, I dropped this once, this display, and I sliced my stomach open. You guys, I swear it was so scary. I looked at my wife. I was like, "Do I need to go get stitches?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "Just put this band-aid on." I was like, "Okay." But yeah. So be safe. Safety first. Always safe when you're working with tools, and yeah, you'll be just fine. So, like I said, be patient. Take your time with working on these things. Uh, Rushing to get done is always going to end up with you wishing you wouldn't have rushed. So, excuse me. Take your time. Figure out what you got to do to get the part to the result you're looking for, and then execute, execute, execute. That's all I got for you. That's all I know. I'm not the brightest in the world. So here we go. This is another piece for, I believe this is for the leg. No, this is not for the leg. These are the arms. These are the arms. Huh. We're gonna do some changes to this, Bubba. So we're gonna put these together. You can pre-assemble some of these parts, and the reason why is you want to do that is because when you get into it and you start looking at it, you see that awful line there and that nib mark, and then we'll go over this side, this big obtruse line over here, and how awful that line is, this separation line. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the instructions. We're going to find out what parts go on the inside and everything. And we're going to see if we can put those parts in place and if those parts will allow us to keep this as just one piece and sand this all down and make it look like it's one piece. So that's what we're going to do next, I guess. I guess we're going to do that next. Next. All right. Just like those birds from that movie. Mine, mine, mine. You know. So we go in here. There's a bunch of cool stuff about these kits and stuff. They got like arms that can. So that arm looks cool. So if we're gonna have a cool arm like that, we got to do the lines. You know, we got to get rid of those lines. All right. Here we are. We're getting there. Let's see. What does it? Oh, polycaps. Oh yeah. We're putting those together. Yes. They're just so it's just two polycaps that go in here. Nothing else, no other plastics, no inner frame. So it's just gonna be two polycaps. I will show you polycaps. These are what we call polycaps. These are the little individual things that connect two harder plastic pieces together with a soft plastic polycap. So these things are like you can really, you know, get an idea of that's soft plastic. All right. So it has two of those on the inside of these. Now, um, everybody has their own different solution on how to do this. I have some pre-diluted stuff in here. This is a glue bottle, and it's got like this stuff is pre-diluted, but it's like it's dust from sanding these plastic parts. So I took a big pile of dust and I just poured it in with some glue, and it's like, see how it's got like that opaque milky color to it? That is actually little particles of plastic. And when I put those little particles of plastic on the outside of this edge right here to glue it back together to seal up these seams, those little particles of plastic help with that. So, just a tip. I have different ones too with different levels of pollutant. This is my oldest bottle, and it's very polluted with plastic, and it doesn't stop it from being useful. And then I have a very new bottle that has no plastic pollutants in it. That's for like when I'm working with fresh poly plates or fresh evergreen plates or whatever I'm using that's a fresh plastic. The unsaturated works so much better. All right, so we're gonna go with this one though, I think, and we'll be able to. Maybe I got everything ready. Okay, we are looking for one thing though. I need a clamp. Clamp, clamp. You need a clamp? I got a clamp. They call me clamps. Clamps. All right, so this is a clamp. It has nice pressure. I bought like 100 of these for like $10 long time ago. I only have like 5 left. So it'll go on like this, and it'll just squeeze the 2 parts. All right. So we got our clamp. We got our 2 parts. Now we got to find out what those 2 polycaps were that we were going to put into it. We'll cut out 4 of them because we have 2 arms to glue together. So these polycaps are polycap 8 and polycap 6. So we'll need 2 of each of those. And I have a special cutter here that will cut them out. Polycap 8 and polycap 6. My cutter's spring came undone. Fixed. Okay. 6 and a 6. 2 8s. All right. There we go. And we're going to take 1 of each and we're going to put it in this part. So this piece is going to go in like that. And this piece is going to go, I believe, right here like this. We'll see those 2 pieces go in there. Now, when we put this piece on, we're not going to close it all the way first. What we're going to do first is we're going to take and we're going to put the glue brush in here and we're going to slather it back and forth and get both sides good and glued. Same thing all the way around. And then we're going to be really careful here, and we're going to try and get this so we don't have to do a lot of work in here. So just be very careful. Okay? So we want to squeeze it and get it to sit just right. All right, so we're going to sit like that all the way around. The polycaps are in. Got our glue. Be quick with the glue because you don't want to be smelling a whole bunch of glue. And see, it will get a little messy when we do this. All right, and make sure we got plenty of glue on this longer side. All right, in there, a little bit in there. And then what we're going to do is when we press it together, we want to see like that. Do you see how that happened? We want to see it like that all the way around. And then once we get it like that all the way around, I think we're going to need to hit that just a little bit more. Now, this pressure here that this will create will make it so that this part sticks together a lot better. There we go. Now we got pressure. Now it's ready. Now we can do the other one, and we'll just have to wait for those to dry. It'll take overnight. They won't dry fast. They do take a little bit longer to dry. You know, you'll be working on other parts throughout the time, so you're not in a rush. And once they're done, we'll do a little video on how to sand them down and stuff. So here's the other way to do it. Some people prefer to do it this way. They like to get this seam and make sure they hit this entire seam all the way around. so that when the parts touch, there's plenty of the plastic is having a chemical reaction that makes the plastic hot and melty, and um, it really helps it. Once we get all those sections that we need to get. The reason why I don't like doing this is because you can mess up putting these two parts together and get glue all over your fingers. And it's not really fun getting glue all over your fingers, especially when you gotta cook food for people the next day. They don't like glue in their food. Alright, so this one doesn't always give us the best seam sweats either, so once again, we'll have to sweat the seam a little. And then I only have two clamps, so we can only do two clamps on something available. My other clamps are being used on other projects at the moment. So you can clamp it like this, or you can clamp it, like I had it before in the grooves, high pressure, low pressure. So they'll both sit there like that in the background. Close our glue up, set that back aside. Then we can go back to carving a piece for a little bit, talking about that. You guys got any big plans for the holidays? Anything like that going on? I am. Uh, for the most part, not doing a whole ton, but I will be seeing as much of my family as I can throughout the holidays this year. Also, as much of my family as I can stomach. Uh-oh, might have made a mistake. You'll never know when I'm done. What's up, kiddo? She wants a snack. She wants a snack, guys. Can she get a snack? Go ahead. You can get a snack. Oh, what we got here? G1 Mech, not much. I bought a Tamiya RC kit I'm working on. I just want to finish it and rip it at the park. That sounds amazing. Those kits I've heard are really fun to build, and they're even funner to play with. I did not. I was never able to get a Tamiya, but RC Radio Shack used to have an RC drift thing called X Mods, I believe, and those were fun because you could build them up, you could tear them down and redo things and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, um, that was I thought they were cool. I thought they were gonna be like the next like competition sport. You know what I mean? I thought RC car drifting was gonna be big, and it didn't get as big as I thought it was gonna be. I don't know why. I really did. I really thought it was gonna be a big sport. I was really excited. All right. Take a little drink of my drink. Yep. Oh, this V8 Energy Sparkling is so good, you guys. It's a really refreshing flavor. That orange pineapple. I usually drink the pomegranate blueberry, but I think it got put on recall or something because I haven't seen it on the shelves this week, which makes me wonder what happened. Oh no, what happened? So yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to find out. So we also got these really cool parts, things we could do with these. There's not much, scribe work we can do on a small part like this. But what we can do is like right here, there's this section that's like a line. We can either deepen it or we could take it out. There's really not a lot of options for that. I don't know what else to tell you. So you end up either going, do I want to turn that into a deeper line right there, or do I want to take it, sand it out, get rid of it? And you always gotta, think about that, make up that decision. Think about how it's sitting on the part. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Let me work it. Send it and reverse it. Does it give you a headache when it doesn't focus? It does to me. I did make a formal complaint to Restream.io. This is the servicing program I use, my software program I use for launching my podcast. I made a complaint to them because they are throttling my quality, and I'm paying for this. So I would really like it if they didn't throttle my quality, So I made that a big argument to them, and hopefully they see my side of it and go, okay, yeah, we should be facilitating people who are paying with at least 1080. I'm not asking for 4K, but at least 1080, like 1080 would be fine. I'd be happy with 1080, 60 frames, 1080 if I'm paying. If I'm using your freebie version, yeah, lock me out at 720. I agree to that. But right now I'm locked in at 720 on this program. Not much I can do at the moment. I will, if they don't upgrade me soon, I will be searching for a better onboard OBS, I think it's called, and a better onboarding server platform situation. Because yeah, that's one of the things where we suffer, right? Is trying to get better quality camera options and stuff. I am getting those camera lenses you recommended me, Leviathan. So those will be here Christmas Day. I will get those. I have them, but Santa's got to bring them to me, type of thing. So when I open my Christmas stocking, I'll have a bunch of little tools and stuff that I get to have for all this podcasting stuff, little $5 tools, $10 tools, not very much, but that's what my Christmas is this year, just a little stocking full of things. So, and I'm fully cheerful for it because I'm still going to have a good Christmas with my kids. I'm still going to have a great Christmas, with my spouse, and we're going to enjoy it. It's going to be good. So I hope everybody else has a great Christmas and all your other holidays that everybody celebrates. I hope you enjoy your holidays, whether it's, Hanukkah or Yule or Christmas itself or whatever other holiday that gets celebrated at this time. If you only recognize the winter solstice or whatever, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it is fruitful. I hope your exchange is very rewarding. Because even within those religions, there's still a gift exchange. What is it? You get 7 nights of gifts for Hanukkah. For Yule, everybody exchanges one gift. And same thing with winter solstice. You can exchange a gift. Usually for winter solstice, your gift would be of a canned food product of some kind that you specialize in making, and then they would in turn, your friend or whoever you gifted that to would in turn gift you a food item that they specialize in making. And that's where that comes from, because uh, after a month of eating the same canned food, you're gonna be like, "Hey, man, you got something different? Because I need something different. I'm going stir crazy in here." Like way back in the day, and it was all canned food, salted food, and smoked food with no refrigerators. Yeah, those guys. That's where this tradition comes from. Is those guys, and because and within a 10-mile radius, you could have a guy that's a potato and yam farmer, and then like right the next farm over, he's a wheat and corn farmer, and then the next farm to him is like he's a livestock farmer. Well, they're each going to have different goods that are going to be valuable to each other, and so the idea of giving everybody a gift of your goods to them giving you some of theirs was a great idea, because then it took away that whole, well, you need to pay me for this. It was that whole community building thing. It was really good for back then. And who I got kudos to whoever came up with that idea back then, because hey, I totally would get sick of eating the same gruel every single night, So, and I can't even. I have a hard time eating chicken 2 days in a row. I love to eat chicken, so just imagine that. Yeah. Um. We are, boom, 1 hour, you guys. We've made it. Thanks for joining me tonight for this Friday the 13th podcast. We've had fun. I showed you some of my painting skills. I showed you all these really cool things and stuff that you can do just to enhance a kit without doing a whole lot of work or doing a whole lot of purchasing power. You can just buy your kit and enhance it with a few tools. So you guys have a great night. Enjoy your holidays, and we will see you next week for our last show of the year on Web C Builds Live. All right. Thank you guys. See you later.